dear students, we are doing chapter 6 Mauryan Age, Chandragupta and Emperor Ashok. Till now we have studied a lot in this chapter. Let's revise the main points. We started with Chandragupta Maurya. He is the founder of Mauryan dynasty. He ruled from 321 BC to 297 BC. We also studied how he established his rule in Magad and how he extended his state. And we also studied the sources which provide information about Mauryan dynasty. We studied about the books like Arthashastra by Chanakya, Indica by Megasthenes, and so on. And in the end, we studied about the Grand Trunk Road, which is the highway. It is the oldest and the longest road in the Asian continent. After him, we studied about his son, the next ruler, Bindusar. He ruled from 297 BC to 273 BC. He did not extend the state, but he maintained friendly relations with the neighboring kings. And then we started about Emperor Ashok, Emperor Samrat Ashok. He was the king of kings. So he ruled from 273 BC to 232 BC. After studying about how his coronation happened after 4 years, what kind of clashes he had with his elder brother Sushim and his stepbrother, and how he increased the inheritance, what was the empire, how vast it was. And then we studied about the Battle of Kalinga and how, after the bloodshed of the war at Kaling, Ashok's heart changed. The Battle of Kalinga was the last battle for Ashok, and he realized that to win people instead of violence, you should win people with love. So the Battle of Kalinga was last battle of his life. And after that, we studied about the Brahmi script, that how today's language is from India, like modern India languages are also made from Brahmi script. Ashok's inscription describing the Battle of Kalinga. While describing about his Kaling war, Ashok got this written on the stone inscription. This stone inscription is found in, it is one of the major rock edicts of Ashok's, and it is in current day Pakistan. But let's see the message given by Ashok. 8 years after becoming king, I conquered Kaling. About 1.5 lakh people were imprisoned. More than 1 lakh people were killed. This made me very sad. People who love their relatives and friends and are gracious towards their slaves and dead are also killed in the war, or they lose their loved ones. So I'm regretting. Now I have decided to follow Dham and teach other people its principles. I believe that winning people's heart through Dham is better than forcefully winning people. I am carving this inscription as a message for the future, so that after me, my son, and even grandchildren do not think of indulging in war. They should think about the ways in which they could spread Dham. Dham is Prakrit form of Sanskrit word dharma. We all know dharma. It is religion or the right thing to do. So Ashok's message was to do not indulge in war, to maintain peace and try to win people through dharma. Now guys, here I have given you the photo of Ashok Lake Shila or Ashok Shila Lake, and then the image which you can find, the rock which you can find inside. We are in Junagadh and we all have been to Bhavnath. So there we see this. Let's see what is inscribed on this rock, on this particular rock of that comes when we move towards Girnar. Ashoka's inscription, written in Prakrit language, has been found on the way to Damodar Kund near Girnar mountain in Junagadh, Gujarat. This inscription contains article of 3 kings. This article is from Mahashatrap Rudradaman. This article gives details about Sudarshan Lake constructed by Governor Pushyagupta, who was governor at the time of Maurya king Chandragupta. Canals made for irrigation by Yavanraj, who was the governor at the time of Ashok. So students, in the rock edict at Bhavnath, the one before Damodar Kund, has 3 articles. It has articles of 3 kings. First one describes about Sudarshan Lake. Sudarshan Lake is the lake which we found at the foothills of Girnar. So that Sudarshan Lake was constructed by Governor Pushyagupta at the time of Chandragupta. And then there is also inscription details about canals made for irrigation by Yavanraj, who was the governor at the time of Ashok. Ashoka as an apostle. Apostle is the promoter of religion. So Ashoka, he not only just followed the religion, he was not just a disciple, but he also promoted, he supported, and he spread the religion. So Ashoka traveled to Buddhist pilgrimages across the country. Pilgrimage are the yatras, that holy places, that trips which are made for holy things. He propagated Buddhism during his yatra. Propagated means he spread the principles of Buddhism. Ashoka drew inspiration from teachings of Gautam Buddha and showed the path of Dham to his people. Dham, it is Dharm. He engraved inscriptions and pillar articles at various places in his empire. To save the problems of that time, Ashoka set up a religious department, propagated Buddhism among the people, and worked to raise their moral standard. So he made a religious department, and the head of that department, Dham Mahapatra, he propagated Buddhism among the people and worked to raise their moral standard. Ashoka banned hunting in his state to stop animal violence. He emphasized the promotion of the principles of love, compassion, kindness, non-violence, virtue, etc. Along with the sermons, some useful sayings were also engraved in the inscriptions. Now, just before starting this chapter, we completed the chapter about Gautam Buddha and Mahavir Swami. So, we know that Gautam Buddha believed in non-violence, even to the animals. So Ashok, who was actually a king, who was a very ferocious king, who killed so many, but after his heart changed, he also banned hunting. Even animals should not be the subject to violence. So he banned animal violence in his state. He banned hunting, and he emphasized the promotion of principles of love, compassion, kindness, all these principles which are given by Gautam Buddha. And along with the sermons, the lessons, even useful sayings were engraved in the inscriptions. In the year 251 BC, Ashok convened Third Buddhist Conference in Mogliputta Tishya in Patliputra. The objective of this conference was to establish religious unity for removing religious differences which had raised. Ashoka propagated Buddhism in Indian states of Kashmir, Gandhar, Chola, Pandya, and Kerala. Emperor Ashoka sent missionary boats to Myanmar, Ceylon, present-day Sri Lanka, Syria, Egypt, Macedonia, etc. Ashoka sent his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra to Ceylon to preach Buddhism. Thus, during his reign, Ashoka granted royalty to Buddhism. In addition to preachings, Ashoka also preferred public welfare work. He arranged for treatment of human and animals. He got wells dug, planted trees, built roads, and built restrooms. So this was his work. He convened a Buddhist conference. I mean, it was the third Buddhist conference. To convene means to organize or to assemble all the religious people. So, in Patliputra, and the objective of this conference was to establish religious unity. There were differences, there were religion differences at that time as well, so he wanted to remove them. For that purpose, he held the conference in Patliputra, and he spread Buddhism in these states. He also sent missionary boards, a group of missionaries. Missionaries are the teachers of religion. So he sent missionary boards, various teachers or preachers to Myanmar, Ceylon, Syria, Egypt, Macedonia, etc. He also sent his children, his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra, to Ceylon. Ceylon is present-day Sri Lanka, to preach Buddhism. Thus, during his reign, during his time of rule, he granted royalty to Buddhism, and along with preaching, along with such religious work, he also did various public welfare work which is for the public, for the upbringing of life standards for the public. He arranged for treatment of human and animals. He got wells dug. He made wells dug. He planted trees. He built roads and even built restrooms. Because of his qualities and deeds, Ashoka is regarded as one of the greatest rulers in history. Emperor Ashok died in 232 BC. He ruled for 36 years. So, because of his qualities, it's not that he cannot extend the state with violence. He was a very good king. He was ferocious. He could capture various kingdoms, but with his heart changed, his qualities and his deeds, his work, his good work, he is regarded as one of the greatest rulers in history. And he died in 232 BC after ruling for 36 years. So that is all about Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar and Emperor Ashok. We will continue in the next class about the administration during that time and how the Mauryan dynasty came to an end. After that, we will do the exercises. But till now, I want you to go through the chapter again in your textbook, or even you can go through the videos. So that's it. There's no more homework. Enjoy your day. Bye.